Iska Warhan, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Jessie. Today I'm taking you on a trip to the beautiful country of Somalia and we'll be making a Somali classic, Bariis. Welcome back, and here are our amazing ingredients for this amazing Bariis. And here we have our 2 cups of basmati rice uncooked. We have our potatoes. We have 2 onions, 1 white, 1 red. We have 1/8 cup of raisins, 1 tomato, a few stock cubes, a few garlic cloves, some turmeric, some food coloring, some cinnamon, our amazing clove, some salt and essential, our toasted ground black pepper, our amazing coriander alongside our cumin, our cardamom, and finally we have our banana. And bananas are actually a great source of potassium. They're high in vitamin B6 and they help for digestion. So get your bananas in. Lastly, we have our oil. Let's get cooking. Okay guys, so the first step is to make our hawash. So hawash literally translates to spices, and it is the spice blend usually used in Somali dishes, especially Bariis. So what do we do first? We have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of moderately squashed cumin, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds, so they've been grounded and toasted, 1 tablespoon of our black pepper. And now we move to our teaspoons. 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom, 1 teaspoon of ground clove, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. So now we take our spoon and we mix it all together. Mix, mix, mix. And now we have our incredibly aromatic hawash. It's time to get chopping, and so with my clean hands that I'm drying off of it, we get to chopping. So firstly, I'll start with our tomato, and we just want to give it nice rough dice, nothing too extravagant. Chop, chop. Last one, and then just chop it into little cubes like so. Okay, second half. And now into my bowl. Okay, next we move on to our onion. So I have my white onion, so this will be used as a topping later on, and so I'm just going to put them, try to get them into rings as much as I can. So just not too thick, not too thin. There we go. Okay. They don't have to be really perfect, they're going to shrink down anyway, so just do as best as you can. Let me see if I can. There we go. Okay, I'll just chop these ones in half. Chop this in half. And that's it for our white onions. Next up, a red onion. This will be used for the actual Bariis. So I'll put it in half moons, or you can dice it if you want, like this. And that goes into my bowl. Next, I'm using 3 cloves of garlic. Just gonna chop the heads off. And now I'm going to start chopping. So I'm going to mince them, soft mince. And I'm just going to chop this. And I'm going to mince them after chopping them in little circles like this. I think I'm going to squash the last one just to make things faster. And just bring them together and mince. Bring it together and mince. Bring it. Last time, also to make sure everything is really fine. Okay. And now I'll scoop that. Oops. Made a little mess there, but that's okay. We'll clean it up. Okay, and lastly, I'm having my potatoes. So these potatoes will be like little fries as a side on our Bariis. And so we'll cut them like little fries. So cut this one in half, then cut this one in half, then cut this one, and try to make them a little bit identical. Just let's give it as even as possible. There we go. Just cut this one because it's a bit thick. And I'll do that for all 5 of my potatoes. I find it really interesting to have fries with your rice. Like I've seen people boiling potatoes with their rice, potatoes in sauces that go with rice, but this is a very interesting approach, I feel, and so it's exciting to try. And you can use any potato you want, Irish or sweet, it's up to you, depending on what you like your potatoes, how you like your potatoes. I'm using Irish today, and yeah. So these are the last of my potatoes. This is the last one. I think that's fine. And now we transfer this into my bowl. Oops. Last one. And here's where we do something I find really fun. So I take my food coloring and just put a little drop of it. I'm just using a teaspoon, but don't fill the whole teaspoon. Little drop, and just swivel round and sort of mix all of them onto the covered. I think I put it a little too much, but that's fine. It'll make them nice and colorful. So just mix until all of them are nicely colored. Won't fill out, but that's fine. Mix. I like the vibrant red. You can choose to use orange, you can use green. Just choose the color that you think is cute for your potatoes. Okay, almost all of them are completely coated now. Just a little bit more. There we go. Now we're done with our potatoes. It's time to get on with the rice. Welcome back, and it's time to get cooking. So I switch on my burner, move this, and let my pot heat up a little bit. Make sure there's no water inside the pots. And right about now I can add in my oil. So I'm putting just enough oil to cover the base of my pot. That should do. And now I'm just going to let this heat up a little bit, and then we move on to the frying. Okay, so my pot is hot enough, and in go my onions. Oh, that's sizzle. Yeah, sizzle when onions hit the hot oil. It's amazing. I'm going to let this sweat just a little bit. All the flavors to be released into the oil. Second. Okay, that should do now. In goes my garlic, my tomatoes. Okay, so if you have a stick of cinnamon, you can use that, just about 2-inch stick of cinnamon. But as for me, I'm using powdered cinnamon, and that will be about 3 teaspoons in, or 2.5. Okay, in that goes. I'm going to fry this a little bit until all the flavors are conversant with each other. And all the smell of frying cinnamon, such a different smell. I love it. Now in goes our hawash. I'm using 1 tablespoon of the spice mix we made earlier. Two stock cubes, a little pinch of salt, because stock cubes already have salt. I'm going to mix that all together. Yeah, smells amazing. Oh, and all the flavors from the hawash is just entering into the oil. You can already see the turmeric doing its thing and bringing that vibrant yellow into the equation. Okay, so about now it's time to add in our basmati rice. So this basmati rice has already been washed until the water ran clear and it's clean, and we pour this into our oil. Get all the grains out. There we go. And now we just stir this in to toast the rice a little bit and to get it acquainted with all of its new friends in the pot. Just mix that all in. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and now I'm grabbing my water. I'm putting just enough to cook my basmati rice through. Mix that a bit, to add a little bit more. There we go. And that should cook my basmati rice. So I close up the pot and leave it to cook until my rice is done. That should be around 20 minutes. Okay guys, so while my rice is over there cooking on the other burner, I'm going to start with frying my toppings. So take off my pot cover, and I'm going to let all the water that might be in here dry off and heat up, and then I'll pour in my oil. So today we're going to be deep frying these, getting these potatoes to a nice crisp, and also these onions to a nice crisp as well. So I'm going to heat this up and then we'll get frying. Okay, so my pot is hot and I'm pouring in my oil. There we go. I think that should be enough. And now I'm going to let this oil heat, and the trick I usually do is I take just a little string of onion and dip it into the oil, and when it starts frying I know that my oil is hot. So while this is heating up, it's already starting to heat a little bit. I'm just going to check over with my rice to see if it's soft. It's almost there, but it needs just a little bit of water. So just going to take my jar, the remaining water, and just pour it in. There we go. And that should be it. My oil is starting to heat up beautifully, and now I'm just going to put the first tester fry in to see how well it does. Okay. Okay, so it seems to need a little bit more time. Okay, I think it's time, and now I can pour in my fries. So remember, it depends on how big your pot is, how much oil you have. But if you need to do it in batches, by all means, please do. I think I can fit the rest in here. And basically you just want to fry these until they are cooked. Okay guys, so this is frying over here. The rice is almost cooked, and it's time to move to another fun part, the food coloring. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of food coloring, just a drop actually is fine. That's a drop, or multiple drops, and just a drop of the green. You can use any colors, like I said. You can use red and orange, red and pink, just you do you, okay? So that's it. And now I'm going to pour just a little bit of water. That's for the green. That's for the red. And so those are perfect, and now it's time to head on over to the rice. So taking these, let me check on my potatoes quickly. Yeah, we're almost there with these. Almost completely and perfectly fried. And now, oh, look at that, amazing Bariis is almost done. And now it's just time to add our food coloring. So just going to fluff up the rice a little bit, mix it up. Yeah, now you can just see the turmeric has added it. It's now a little, it has a dull yellow almost, and then the onions and the hawash. So first of all, the red food coloring, let that soak in, and then the light mint green food coloring, or whichever would pick up. And now you just mix them in, and look at those beautiful red grains of rice. The green isn't showing up too much, but that's okay. It's perfect. And now I'm going to get my raisins. Give me a sec. Here I have my raisins. They're a bit mixed. Some golden ones are in here, some normal black raisins are in here. That's fine. And so just as the finishing touch, almost, a sprinkle of raisins. I think it deserves a little bit more. There we go. Oops. And so we cover that up. I've let the Bariis cook a little bit because when you add food coloring, you need to let it cook so that you don't have stomach issues and things like that. So it's cooked for another 3 minutes just to make sure everything has come together. And just like that, our Bariis is done. Back to our toppings. Now over here, we have our potatoes perfectly fried and nice and crispy. I can't wait, honestly. And so I'm taking my colander. In an effort to drain any excess oil, I'm going to strain my potatoes into my colander. And so any excess oil would drip off. Oh wow, these are a beautiful vibrant red. I love it. Yeah. Look at, can you hear that crunch? There we go. Okay, so the last of my potatoes are coming off the heat right now. The last stubborn ones. And now we're going to let this oil heat up just a little bit before putting in our onions. Okay, I think it's time to add in our onion. 3, 2, oh yes, that nice sizzle. Okay, so I'm going to stir this just a little bit so I can break up some of those rings that I made. Wow, this is really bubbling. Oh yes. So I'm just going to let them fry a little bit, turn it a bit, stir it a bit so that some of the rings can separate and we can have nice individual onion rings. There we go. And so I'm going to fry these until they're nice and brown, nice and crispy looking, and they'll be the perfect crispy topping for our Bariis. I quite like the idea of crispy onions topping your rice, and it sounds delicious, and I can bet it tastes delicious. Okay, so my onions are perfectly crisp. Look at these. And now it's time to bring them out of the oil. Just let a little bit of that drain off. At this point I can also switch off the heat because I'm not frying anything anymore. And now I'm just going to toss these in a little bit of salt, and it's time to get assembling. Okay guys, so we have our amazing Bariis and our toppings. Here we have our banana. I'm just going to take one and just peel it. It's a ripe banana. I love ripe bananas. And we just place it on the side. And now it's time for my toppings. I'm just going to use my hands to decorate the potato everywhere, as well as our onions, and just make it look beautiful. There we go. I just can't wait to dig into this because it looks amazing. Beautiful, isn't it? Well, now it's time to get tasting. You can taste this Bariis. Wow! You can taste the cinnamon, the hawash. You can taste all the things, all the cumin, the black pepper, the cardamom. Nothing is lost. It just tastes amazing. I want to have some with the potato. And the sweetness of the raisin just adds an added flair to it. It's really delicious. You guys are definitely going to have to try this out. You won't regret it. Okay guys, I'm very sure you enjoyed this amazing episode of Cooking with Jessie. Don't forget to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to get a notification whenever we drop a new video. Follow me on my social media handles, and see you next time on another blessed episode of Cooking with Jessie.